I met Julian in, I believe, 9th grade. We grew up with similar backgrounds, single parent households, strong moms, moms that just wanted the best for us and was willing to, do whatever to make sure that we weren't the same as our surrounding circumstances. So growing up, just the morale of my community, it was low. People just, it was like, man, I gotta be the best athlete I can be. This is my way out. Or, I gotta write rhymes. Or, the person that we kind of looked up to was, unfortunately, the guy on the corner, with morale. If morale is low, dreams are low. Hope is low. Like all those things fall in order. You can't have low morale and dream big. Before the creation of PKZ, you go right to Parramore and ask, it's a 2.5 mile radius. Ask the kid how many of the kids have ever been outside of Parramore. How many kids have ever been to Disney? How many kids have ever been to a beach? How many kids have ever stepped campus on UCF? My first time stepping my foot on UCF campus, I was in the 12th grade. To me, that's unacceptable.
A lot of that mentorship that I had is the reason why I'm sitting here today. It's the reason why I didn't teeter off and do the things that a lot of my peers were doing.
That guy changed my life in a way that he was a math teacher, but in a way that this man teaches math, but man, he cool. It's easy to tell a kid, like, you can grow up and be a doctor, you can grow up and be a lawyer, you can grow up and be a teacher. Do you know, until I met that guy, there was 3 things that I believed that I could be. And I graduated high school with a 3.7. I was in National Honor Society. But up until 11th grade, even making good grades, there was 3 things I believed I can be. A professional athlete, a rapper, or, an opportunist. That's it. And then I meet this guy and I'm like, wow, bro, you just like me. Like, I can be who I am and still be educated and full of life and still, find myself in these everyday roles that people talk about. And I think that's most important. Oftentimes, the kids in these communities that you say, hey, you could grow up and become this, they don't see anybody that look like them in those professional settings. So that was really important for me. A tragic event happened. I don't know if you know a guy by the name of Gino Nicholas. A childhood friend, I knew him for as long as I can remember him. I was actually living in Kansas City, Missouri, working for a finance company. And he was here doing this work and he got murdered in a drive-by shooting. And I felt like it was my obligation, to come back and be the light in my community that somebody, wanted to be for me.
Again, I look at these kids and I see myself, and I see that, oh, well, this person might not have the father figure, the stepdad that I had. So let me be that person for him and show him, like, hey, you can be like me, it's all good. Like, you may grow up in Parramore, you may grow up in Pine Hills, but you could make it out. You could, be okay with the circumstances that you're living in, knowing that I'm gonna make it out and I'm gonna be the best person I can be.
When PKZ came in, what's happening is going to college, graduating high school, that's the normal thing now. Nobody's bragging about graduating high school. That's what you should do. But when I graduated, it was kind of like but that's not a thing anymore. My mindset was, I can't wait to make it out. That's a lot wrong with that statement right there. But unfortunately, that was the mindset. And I think I'm speaking for all my peers that was my age. That was our motto. I can't wait to make it out. And that has to change. It has to be, I can't wait to get back. And that's like pride in your community. I'm gonna ask you this. You think the kids that are, growing up right across the street from us in College Park, that's not their mindset. I can't wait to make it out. That is a beautiful community with beautiful homes. I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to get my degree or my master's and come back and take ownership in my community. So I think that the difference is now we're bringing UCF and Valencia and the ACE Community School and all these other things that come with universities is jobs and careers,
Right.
you know, and pride, just flat out pride, to change that statement from I can't wait to make it out to I can't wait to come back. So I think that's what's the biggest difference between the generation that we're mentoring and the generation that we were a part of.
You have to make the decision to want better for your life. That's one thing I could say about me and Raysean is, although we had a lot of our peers doing the wrong thing and it was easy for us to get distracted sometimes, we made the decision that, hey, I'm gonna take this path. You know, having UCF in a community like Parramore, I think is gonna help people make that decision. Just going to the building and being able to see that is a lot easier than just being remotely removed from any type of college experience.
People of the community are sitting on that committee and making decisions about what is going to happen to Parramore, what's going to happen to the future of Parramore, what type of educations, practices we want to bring in, job opportunities. So, they could have came in and turned that back and was like, hey, this is what we think is best and this is how it's going to go. But somebody that sat at the top of the mountain said, hey, we don't need to bring them to our table. We need to create a new table and bring everybody to that table.
A lot of people think that, you gotta get rich to come back and make a change in the community, and I think what Raysean just said is an example of what we're doing. I think, we both realize that every day we can be that change. We don't have to have $100,000, $500,000 to be that change. We can start doing it now. And, if God blesses us with anything else, it should be icing on the cake.